Okay, so let's talk about job interviews. They can be nerve-wracking anyway, right?
Oh, absolutely. High stakes situations.
But then you add in the factor that English isn't your first language.
And suddenly that pressure, it multiplies, doesn't
It
it?
really does. You know that feeling. Maybe your pulse speeds up. You get that classic interview anxiety.
Where simple sentences just seem to, disappear.
Exactly. Words you absolutely know, just gone. Has that ever happened to you listening?
I think it happens to almost everyone at some point. That feeling can really throw you off, even if your English is actually quite strong.
It's so true. But here's something really important we want to get across right at the start.
Mm-hmm.
Nailing a job interview, it isn't really about having, like, quote-unquote, perfect English. That's not the goal.
No, absolutely not. It's much more about communicating clearly and, well, showing your confidence.
Exactly. Confidence and clarity. That's what truly makes a difference.
Interviewers are definitely looking for that authenticity. Can you get your ideas across effectively? That's key.
So for this deep dive, we have a pretty focused mission.
Okay.
We're going to look at just five key English phrases that can, like, immediately make you sound more professional and feel more self-assured in interviews.
And these aren't, complex grammatical structures or anything. They're practical phrases.
Right. Things native speakers actually use day to day in professional settings.
Exactly. Using them can really shift how you come across, make you sound more natural and confident.
Okay, let's dive into the first one then. This is a fantastic way to show you're genuinely interested right from the get-go. I'm really passionate about.
Ah, yes. This one's great because it speaks directly to your motivation, your intrinsic motivation.
What do you mean by intrinsic?
Well, it shows you care about the work itself, not just, the paycheck or the title. Interviewers love seeing that genuine interest.
Right. It signals you're not just looking for any job, but you're actually invested in this specific area.
Precisely. It suggests a deeper level of engagement.
So for example, instead of just saying, I have customer service experience, you could say,
I'm really passionate about helping customers solve problems. That's why I've always enjoyed working in customer support. See the difference?
yeah, that's much more powerful.
Yeah.
It tells them why you do what you do.
And think about where you can use this. It fits so naturally into answers for common questions.
Like,
Well, why do you want this job?
Yeah.
Obviously. Or tell me about yourself. Even what motivates you?
okay, so it gives you a strong, enthusiastic opening.
Exactly. It frames your interest personally.
And here's a quick confidence tip for this one. When you say it, really mean it.
Oh, definitely.
Let that enthusiasm show. A genuine smile, some energy in your voice. It makes a huge difference.
It really does. Passion is contagious, as they say. If you sound genuinely excited, they'll feel it too.
That non-verbal part is just as important as the words themselves.
Absolutely. Confident delivery seals the deal.
Okay, moving on. Phrase number 2. This one is super helpful for that question everyone dreads or maybe anticipates, the strengths question.
Right. What are your strengths?
This phrase gives you a really solid structure. One of my strengths is.
Yes, this provides a clear, professional framework. It stops you from rambling.
Keeps it concise.
Exactly. And it sounds prepared and self-aware. It immediately tells them you've thought about this.
So an example might be, one of my strengths is staying calm under pressure.
Perfect. But don't stop there.
Right. You need the follow-up, the example.
Crucial. So, in my last job, I managed multiple deadlines without missing a single one.
See, that makes it real. Concrete.
Precisely. Don't just state the strength, you have to illustrate it. Give them a mini story, evidence.
That's what makes it memorable,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And believable.
Totally. It provides tangible proof of what you're claiming.
It's showing, not just telling. And you can use this, obviously, when they ask directly about strengths. But also, maybe when you're introducing yourself, if you want to highlight something key early on.
Yes, it works well in a professional summary or introduction, too. It sets a positive tone.
Fundamentally, interviewers are trying to predict how you'll perform.
Right. Based on past behavior?
So this phrase, plus that specific example, gives them solid data in a nice, structured package.
Exactly.
And a confidence tip here.
Yeah.
Maybe just pick one or two genuine strengths.
Yes, authenticity is key.
Don't try to list everything or use overly fancy words. Just be clear, speak confidently, and let that little story do the heavy lifting.
Clarity and a good brief example beat a long list of vague adjectives every time.
Okay, number 3. This one helps you tackle discussing, well, difficult situations or challenges.
Ah, the challenge question. Another common one.
The structure is, a challenge I faced was, and here's how I handled it.
This is such a great framework. It immediately shows reflection and problem-solving skills.
Things employers really value.
Absolutely. They know things go wrong sometimes. What they really want to see is how you react. Do you take ownership? Do you find solutions?
Right. So you could say something like, a challenge I faced was leading a team with low motivation. That's the challenge.
Okay.
Then the action.
I started weekly check-ins and created shared goals.
Good, specific actions, and the result.
Within 2 months, our productivity improved by 30%. Situation, action, result. STAR method, basically.
Exactly. It packages it perfectly. Clear problem, clear action, clear positive outcome.
And this structure works for lots of questions, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Tell me about a difficult situation. How do you handle challenges? Even sometimes, what's your biggest weakness? If you frame a past weakness as a challenge you overcame.
Oh, interesting angle for the weakness question. Shows growth.
Precisely. It demonstrates you're proactive and learn from experience.
And it just hits all the right notes for interviewer. You saw the problem, you took responsibility, you did something specific, and it worked out well. It's a very compelling narrative structure. Have you, listening now, thought about a specific challenge using this structure?
Good point. Practicing your own story beforehand is key.
Definitely.
And the confidence tip here is really about brevity. Keep it concise.
Yes. Don't get bogged down in details.
Aim for maybe 2 or 3 clear sentences. That structure and clarity itself shows maturity, professionalism.
Well said. Brevity often signals confidence.
Okay, phrase number 4. This one shifts towards the future, expressing enthusiasm for what's next with the company.
Right, showing that forward momentum.
The phrase is, I'd love the opportunity to.
This is great because it conveys genuine interest in this specific role and company, but also a desire to grow with them.
So it shows you're thinking longer term.
Exactly. Employers want people who see a future there, who are invested, not just looking for a quick stepping stone.
Makes sense. So you could say, I'd love the opportunity to grow within your company and contribute to exciting projects on the marketing team.
Perfect. Shows ambition and aligns it with their needs.
And when would you typically use this? Towards the end of the interview.
Often, yes. It works well when they ask things like, do you have any questions for us? You can weave it into your questions or closing remarks.
Or maybe, why should we hire you? Or where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yes, absolutely. It answers those forward-looking questions really positively, expresses your aspirations constructively.
Got it. And for the confidence tip, what's the vibe here?
Keep the tone warm, calm, and sincere. You don't want to sound like desperate or overly pushy.
Just genuine interest.
Exactly. Let that authentic desire for the opportunity shine through. Avoid rushing the words.
That sincerity can be really persuasive. Shows you've thought it through.
It does. It suggests your interest is considered, not impulsive.
Okay, brings us to our final phrase, number 5. This one is brilliant for leaving a really strong, positive last impression.
The closing statement, almost.
Kind of. The phrase is, based on what I've learned, I believe I'd be a great fit because.
I really like this one. It shows you haven't just been talking, you've been listening. Actively listening.
Right. It demonstrates you absorbed what they told you about the role, the team, the company culture.
And you can connect it back to your own skills and experience. Synthesis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It leaves that impression of real engagement. You're not just reciting rehearsed answers.
So powerful.
An example could be, based on what I've learned about your company's culture and the team's goals, I believe I'd be a great fit because of my collaborative spirit.
And my experience in developing innovative solutions, or whatever fits your profile and what you discussed.
It just has a nice bow on everything tailored to that specific conversation.
It really does. And it's a fantastic closer or a direct answer to, why should we hire you? Or do you think this role is a good match?
It summarizes your candidacy, but in a very personalized, thoughtful way.
Couldn't agree more.
And the confidence tip for this closer.
Think of it like wrapping up a good chat with someone you respect. Keep it calm, collected.
Not like a big formal speech.
No, not at all. Relaxed, confident, maybe with a little smile. You're emphasizing the connection you feel, the potential match.
Making that genuine connection. That's the goal.
Yes. That's often what makes the final memorable difference.
So just to recap as we start to wrap up this deep dive, the big takeaway is that interviews, especially when English isn't your first language, aren't about hitting some impossible standard of perfection.
Not at all. It's really about good preparation and communicating clearly, showing what you bring to the table.
And these 5 phrases we've discussed,
Yeah.
they're tools, right? Practical tools to help you do just that.
Exactly. They help you structure your thoughts and express yourself confidently and professionally. They're a big step towards showing your capability.
So here's a little challenge for everyone listening.
Okay.
Pick just one of these phrases today, whichever one resonated most, maybe.
Just one to start.
Yep. And practice it. Say it out loud. Maybe record yourself on your phone. Just hear how it sounds.
Or, if you can, grab a friend and do a quick mock interview question using it.
The point is, the more you actually use these phrases, even just in practice,
The more natural they'll feel, and the more comfortable you'll be.
and that comfort translates directly into confidence doing the real thing.
It absolutely does. Practice builds that muscle memory and reduces anxiety.
Remember, confidence isn't usually something you just have. It's something that grows when you take action, when you prepare.
Well put.
You really don't need to sound like a native speaker to impress an interviewer,
Well,
honestly.
No. What matters is speaking clearly, speaking purposefully, and letting your real skills, your experience, your personality come through.
That authenticity is key.
You have value to offer.
Yeah.
These phrases just help you communicate that value effectively. They're tools in your toolbox.
You've absolutely got this. We know it can feel daunting, but with preparation, you can really shine.
Definitely cheering for you.
Go practice one phrase.